Naghiwalay. Ay. Pero ang ganda ng suot niya. Mga ka-try! Hello po! Good evening! Welcome to another episode in this show, Pinoy Fashions You Try. And of course, I'm your host, Jeen. Wait lang mga ka-try ha, kasi may nakalimutan po tayo. Sorry po, importante pa man din siya. Please po, paki-like yung aming Facebook page. Remember, road to 10K na po kami. Kaya, wow! Aja-aja fighting! At yung aming YouTube channel, pwede po kayo mag-subscribe po. At pwede nyo rin po i-turn on yung mga notification bells na yan para ma-notify kayo tuwing nagpo-post kami ng mga videos. At yung aming website, naku, puntahan nyo naman. Click nyo yung join kasi maraming pwedeng gawin dyan. Basta, try nyo. Because you'll never know unless you try. Alright? Okay. Sige, tuloy na natin yung video. For today's episode, we're gonna talk about Korean fashion. Kasi siguro alam nyo na Korean fashion has been trending big time. Not only in the Philippines, but around the world. Everybody's been binge-watching K-dramas, K-pop. And because of that, sobrang naging uso ang Korean fashion. Pero, siguro alam nyo na din na kahit gustong-gusto natin, mga Pilipino, na gumaya sa Korean fashion, minsan hindi talaga natin kaya. Kasi mainit. Mainit sa Pinas. Mahirap magsuot ng jacket na kakapal-kapal. Tapos pupunta ka sa labas. Diba? But, you know what they say? Kung gusto, palaging may paraan. So, tonight, we're gonna be interviewing a very special guest. She's one of my closest friends, and she's a K-beauty, K-fashion blogger. And she's from... Hindi sa Korea. Dito rin siya, sa Luzon, nakatira. Somewhere in Luzon. Pero sa totoo lang, nung una ko siya nakilala, akala ko talaga hindi siya nagkatagalog. Ganun siya. Mukha talaga siyang Korean. So, without further ado, please welcome Miss Andy.
여러분 안녕하세요. 저는 Andrea입니다. Hello mga ka-try. I am Andrea and I am a blogger at try.ph and I am also a style writer for a Korean online fashion magazine called inkystyle.com. What is Korean fashion? I think it's very easy to associate Korean fashion with, clothes that we see in K-pop music videos or yung mga clothes na sinusuot ng mga Korean celebrities in dramas. But when it comes to actually defining it and using words to define it, I think it's gonna be very difficult kasi when it comes to Korean fashion, there's just so much category under it na mahirap talaga siyang ma-identify and just put it in one box. But if there's something that I can say when it comes to Korean fashion, it's, based on my observation, it is that super fast-paced siya. Yun, talagang super mabilis siya magbago. The trends, they come and go. So, one day, a popular Korean celebrity will wear something and magiging sikat yon. Yan. And then, there are times nga na talagang pag nakita ng mga tao na suot yun ng favorite Korean artist nila, mabilis mag-sell out yung item na yon. But the next thing we know, in just like less than a month, or sometimes weeks nga lang, nakalimutan na siya ng lahat. So, I believe Korean fashion is something na we should just get inspiration from, and it's not something that we should closely imitate. So for me, in my years in being to Korean fashion or K-style, na-observe ko na meron talaga siyang common denominator. And I think what's common when it comes to Korean fashion is their creative styling. yung mga basics nila nagiging super special tignan just because they know how to style it creatively. And it's all about getting a grasp of mix and matching your basics. Like, hindi siya masyadong about dun sa mga overly dramatic na mga clothing pieces as opposed to what we usually see in, you know, mga Korean dramas or K-pop music videos. Syempre, sobrang dramatic yung mga suot nila because syempre, nasa TV sila or something. But basically, when it comes to Korean fashion and how Koreans wear their clothes on a daily basis, it's more on just the basics. Yun, magaling lang talaga sila mag-mix and match. So I think if there is something that I would personally say about Korean fashion, it is just creatively styling your basics. My entire Korean journey began back in 2009 kasi that was the time na I worked in a Korean academy. So I was surrounded by Koreans all the time. And medyo matagal din ako nag-work doon. And so I have met a lot of Koreans and made friends with a lot of them. And I think sila talaga yung nag-drew sa akin sa Korean fashion scene. And yeah, so that is where it all began. And then in 2011, that is when I started blogging. So dun sa blog ko, shimmerjang.com, that is where I share my fascination for everything K. You know, K culture, Korean food, Korean dramas, K-pop, K-beauty, and Korean fashion. During my blogging thingy, it kind of like opened a couple of opportunities for me to write. And ayun, dun din nagsimula na naging style writer ako for a couple of online magazines. And most of them nakafocus talaga sa Korean fashion, K-beauty, and stuff like that. And as a part of my job as a style writer, what I do is yun, nagbe-breakdown ako ng mga suot ng mga Korean celebrities. So, I write about what they wear, saang brand galing, etc., etc. And so, yeah, I think that also contributed to yung aking knowledge when it comes to Korean fashion. Like what I have mentioned earlier, Korean fashion is really just something to take inspiration from. So, yun. Hindi kasi talaga natin siya magagaya exactly because the way they dress up, of course, in Korea is very different from how we dress up. Kasi lalong-lalo na when it comes to, you know, our weather, mahirap talagang gayahin kung ano yung suot nila. Kasi yung sa kanila, designed for 4 seasons, unlike us na talagang it's either maulan lang or maaraw. So yun, most of the time it's hot and humid all year round. So to make K-Fashion Pinoy-friendly, I think it's just more about, you know, going for clothing pieces that suit our weather. So ayun, generally clothes na lightweight lang. And so I have thought of 4 ways to incorporate Korean fashion in, you know, our daily lives, daily wear, with our tropical weather in mind. First one is comfy layering. So what I really love about K-Fashion is that they are really, really good when it comes to layering their clothes. So, yon. But of course, they do it best kasi malamig sa kanila, kaya they can, you know, freely layer a couple of clothes and wear them all at the same time. You know, coats, turtleneck tops, and scarves, and feel warm and cozy. Unlike dito sa atin kasi, dahil nga mainit, most Filipinos get really discouraged when it comes to layering their clothes.
But it is actually very doable if you just go for the right clothing pieces na of lightweight fabric lang. Like these ones I'm gonna use for my first set. This blouse, kahit na long sleeves siya, it is just made of soft chiffon fabric, while this dress naman is made of cotton lang. So since both are flowy and lightweight, hindi siya mainit even if when layered together. Actually, the dress I wore here is not really a jumper, but a plus-size dress. It looks nice naman with its straight silhouette, but if you want to give it a bit of more shape, you can also accessorize with a belt. For the next look, I'm using an oversized menswear shirt and a knitted vest. I found this very lightweight vest na bagay siya for our tropical weather. So kahit isuot ko siya with other pieces, long or short sleeves, comfy pa rin siya. Also, lately, very trendy sa Korea yung mga knitted vests. Pero they usually wear it kasi kapag autumn season and medyo heavy knit yung mga gamit nila. But for this one, manipis lang siya kaya madali siyang i-layer with pretty much everything. Medyo semi-formal naman yung ating third layered look with a plain yellow dress and floral cardigan. I went for this combination kasi masarap siya sa mata and very summery yung mga colors niya, diba? So the look is pretty straightforward. Dress layered with a cardigan. Pero minsan, mainit pa rin ang cardigan lalo na kapag long sleeves siya, diba? So, you can also wear it differently by just wrapping it around the shoulders. So, parang magiging cape siya, like this one. You can also choose to tie it para mas pang Korean drama ang dating. It also gives more dimensions to the whole look para hindi naman plain and boring yung dating ng plain dress natin.
Second one is tweaking and accessorizing your basics. So, for example, a t-shirt. A t-shirt can be worn in many different ways. And ganun din for, straight cut pants, polos, and any other basic clothing pieces that you have. You can do so by experimenting in, different kinds of folds and ties, as well as adding accessories.
For our first look, we have this t-shirt and straight cut na black pants. If worn as it is, medyo mukhang pambahay yung vibe niya, diba? So what we'll do with the shirt is to give it a tweak by using an elastic band to tie its center from the inside. And i-hafta ko na rin siya para ma-shorten yung look ng aking torso and ma-elongate yung legs ko. Without the tie kasi, the look is definitely lacking some dimensions. But with these simple tweaks, it gives the illusion of a slimmer figure. For the pants naman, I also chose to roll it up a bit para medyo maging street style yung dating niya. Its straight cut makes it a bit too formal kasi, parang pang office. So, here's how I make it a bit more effortless and casual. Very perfect for a quick grocery run kasi very comfy and free gumalaw with this outfit. Next one is for basic button-down shirts. I follow many Korean stylists on social media and I saw this very cool half-top tweak. Yung asymmetrical look niya kasi, it gives a unique twist sa mga simpleng button-down na mga shirts. If medyo gusto mo naman na medyo girly yung vibe, just simply tie it into a ribbon, like so.
The third one is to keep your basic pieces and statement pieces balanced. So of course, hindi kasi pwedeng mawala talaga yung mga statement pieces when it comes to Korean fashion. Kasi if you are really into K-style and you're into that kind of wardrobe theme, marami talagang mga statement pieces when it comes to Korean fashion. And of course, along with the basics din. But when you say statement pieces kasi, ito yung mga medyo unique, maraming shala-shala, ruffles, and those pieces na talagang medyo eye-catching. It's actually very exciting to try statement pieces. Just make sure na you don't overdo it. Kasi it's really about, balancing your pieces. Kasi pag masyadong dramatic yung top mo, statement piece, and then also yung skirt or pants, then it's gonna be a little bit too much.
For this look, I just went for very basic black leggings para medyo ma-tone down ng konti yung oversized top ko. Medyo uncommon kasi yung long shirt ko, so it needs something plain and simple para balanced pa rin yung look. In this second outfit coordinate naman, I'm wearing a statement pullover with dramatic sleeves. While plain black lang yung color niya, this one has a bit of an unusual cut as well as very fancy na lace cuffs. So, I'd like to balance the look by going for a plain na soft denim skirt lang.
The fourth one is improvising. One of my super favorite clothing pieces to wear and style are menswear polos. So, ayun. Actually kasi, my dad and my brother, they're very picky with their clothes. So, there are times na kapag hindi na nila masyado feel yung fit nung damit nila, they would just stop wearing it. But the thing is that may mga times kasi na it was my mom who bought their clothes for them. And so, ayun, minsan nakakahinayang kasi na giveaway or itago na lang. So, instead of having those polos collect dust, then I get them. Yeah, I get them and then I style them and yeah, I improvise.
Ito yung ibang favorite menswear polos ko. This pink one used to be my brother's, and I thought of making it look girlier, so nilagyan ko siya ng floral patch, which I got from a pop-up bazaar before. Then this one naman, I got inspired by what Korean actor Park Bo-gum wore in an award show, so I had the cuffs altered para mas unique siyang tignan. So dahil menswear siya, medyo awkward talaga yung fit niya since it's really not meant for a woman's physique. So what I do is reshape the cut of the neckline. We'll unbutton the first four, then move it to sides para magkaroon siya ng parang off-sheen na look. I also tie it into a ribbon para mas mukha na talaga siyang ladies wear. So since magiging masyadong open yung neckline niya, mas okay talaga if may innerwear. For this one, I chose a printed halter top to complement my plain shirt. I am such a huge fan of the oversized fit of menswear polos kasi mas comfy and free gumalaw. It's also very versatile, so pwede rin siyang gawin na parang pang cover up lang. Like this one.
I believe there are many reasons why Pinoys love K-fashion, and I think siguro isa na rin doon yung influence ng Korean entertainment, K-pop, K-dramas. But for me personally, I really think that it is their way of styling their clothes. Meron siyang talagang distinct charm na K-fashion is really all about making simple clothing or mga basic pieces look uniquely styled, and that is what I really love about it. And I think many K-style fashion enthusiasts would agree. Yun. So, kahit t-shirt and pants lang siya or, you know, basics, but if you mix and match it perfectly, they go really well together. And I think that is K-fashion's charm. If you want to try Korean fashion, I think it's just really about, like what I mentioned earlier, just about getting inspiration from it. And you can take inspiration from it by, you know, just getting tidbits of ideas and making it as your own. So, ayun, hindi siya talaga as in something na kailangan nating gayahin ng eksaktong-eksakto. You just have to, you know, be inspired with it, maybe make a style board, and siguro if you have like favorite Korean artists and gusto mo yung damit nila, maybe you can just, you know, pin them in your style board, but not really exactly copy what they wear, but just get, you know, parts of it, yung parts na talagang gusto mo, not exactly everything. But of course, styling is all about, you know, it's a trial and error process. So, it's something that you will soon get a hang of. Kasi, yun, may mga times talaga na parang medyo magiging awkward. But it's really all about, you know, feeling confident and comfy with what you wear. And it's also about, you know, just finding the right pieces na magiging bagay sa'yo. Actually, it's a very long journey na for me when it comes to K-Fashion ever since that I really got into it back in 2009. And so, along the way, marami din ako natutunan in the experience. Like, I also made the mistake of just, closely following what my favorite Korean artists wear. Yeah, I remember, like, mga back in 2010 or 11, na parang yun yung time na sobrang nahook ako sa everything Korean culture and Korean fashion. And so, if I saw my favorite Korean artist wear something, I would buy it. And yun, I made that mistake a couple of times. So, may mga times na super nauso siya. So, binili ko kasi yun nga pareho kami. Pero, ayun, it's a mistake kasi it's pretty much just like putting your money off the pin. Kasi, ano siya, like what I've mentioned earlier, Korean fashion is super fast-paced. The trends, they come and go. Kaya yung mga binili ko that time, na uso that time, I don't actually kind of feel like wearing them now. Kasi parang medyo hindi na siya okay. Pag sinuot ko siya ngayon, medyo nakakatawa na siya. So, yeah. So, I think when it comes to K-fashion, or any kind of fashion for that matter, it's just something na you make as your own. Yun. And then it's just sticking to the classics, yung mga timeless pieces. You don't have to follow each trend to be in. So I guess just be mindful of the trends that you'd like to try and be practical. So make sure na you go for pieces na masusuot mo pa rin maybe 5-10 years from now. Actually nga, I really appreciate the clothes na meron yung mom ko. Kasi when she was younger, she really likes, classic pieces. And meron pa rin siyang mga damit that time na nasusuot ko hanggang ngayon. So, yeah, I think when it comes to Korean fashion, K-style, if you're gonna shop for K-style clothing, just stick for clothes na hindi naman super uso, but just, something that you can still wear for a long time. Just basic, classic, timeless pieces. So yeah, that is pretty much everything that I'd like to share when it comes to Korean fashion. And sana, hopefully, after watching this, magustuhan niyo rin siyang i-try. And yeah, if you want to know more about Korean fashion, K-style, or K-beauty, everything K for that matter, you can find me on my blog at shimmerjang.com. I am also on Instagram at shimmerjang. And if naghahanap kayo ng mga clothing pieces na gusto nyo i-pin in your personal style board, you can also visit our Korean online fashion magazine at inkystyle.com. So yeah, hopefully you guys are gonna try K-fashion after this because you'll never know unless you try. Thank you mga ka-try! 감사합니다!
Wow! Maraming salamat kay Miss Andy for delivering a wonderful speech. Pero seryoso ha, ang galing ng mga ideas niya para ma-achieve natin yung Korean-inspired fashion, pero Pinoy style. Alam mo yun, yung parang akma sa Pinoy weather. Swak na swak! Gagawin ko yun bukas. Abangan nyo yan. By the way, if you still want more ideas on how to achieve that Korean-inspired fashion look, you can visit itaewon.co on Instagram because they have a lot of ideas there. And not only ideas, they also sell those ideas. Marami silang mga OOTDs. Marami silang mga OOTDs na pinapakita sa pictures. Tapos pwede mong bilhin yun as a set. Alright? Mga dresses, mga skirts and blouses na pwede mo i-pair. And it's all affordable. Sulit na sulit ka. And wag niyo kakalimutan yung page ni Miss Andy, shimmerjang.com. Professional talaga eh. Shimmerjang sa Facebook and Shimmerjang sa Instagram. Shimmerjang. Talagang makaka-LSS din yun. LSS? LSW. Last, ano LWS. Last word syndrome. Yeah, very good. Okay. Maraming salamat po mga ka-try sa panonood ulit. And sana nag-enjoy po kayo kasi ako, nag-enjoy din ako. Ay. Ito? Oh. This is for something else. This is for a very special episode that's gonna happen soon. Alright? Abangan nyo yan. But first, I want to give a shout out to Diverse. Ilalagay ko yung link sa comment section down below. And you can buy these affordable face shields. Diba? Try natin. Oh! Talk about being Korean. Wait lang. Yan! O, diba? Saan tayo pupunta? Pupunta ba tayo sa, outer space? meron pa isa. Ito naman ay talagang director's pick. Director's pick? Ito yung talagang pinili ko eh. Kasi tinan mo naman kung gaano ka bongga. Oh! Kita yung ring light! Yan. Pero hindi ko siya gagamitin sa episode na to. So, ito mga face shields, I'm gonna use them in a very special episode because, basta, makikita nyo na lang, abangan nyo na lang. Alright? And I also wanna give a shout out to Jasmine. My friend Jasmine, because I bought these lip tints. Alam ko, hindi naman ako hindi naman ako Try Beauty. Sorry po. Pero gusto ko lang talagang i-shoutout to kasi sobrang ganda. Ito yung gamit kong para siyang lip tint, pero gel-based siya. Yan. O, diba? Tatlo na yung mabibili mo. And it's also very affordable. Gano? Tanungin mo siya. Dali na! So, ilalagay ko rin yung link ng kanyang account down below. So, you can visit her and you can maybe, stroll around, maybe buy something. Alright? Maraming salamat po, mga ka-try. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye po!